Hello student, this is Gautam Sinha. Today I am going to discuss about energy flow in an ecosystem. This is a subtopic from the chapter Our Environment. So, energy flow. Energy flow in an ecosystem is unidirectional. That means it flows in a one direction. First, in a food chain or in an ecosystem, from where does the energy comes? So my dear student, it's a very clear thing that the ultimate source of energy in this universe is the sun, the solar energy. That means the sunlight. That solar energy is being trapped by the plants for their making of their own food, and thereafter in a food chain the flow of energy starts. So it can be well represented like this also. Green plants, it may be grasses also, that absorbs or that receives, the leaves of this green plant receive this solar radiation. Why solar radiation? Why this solar energy is being received by the plants? For making their own food, and thereby after when these green plants are being consumed by the consumers, maybe like I am just doing a one food chain like grasshopper. This grasshopper is being further consumed by what? Frog, snake, and then by after hawk or eagle. This is the food chain, simple. But the solar energy received by the plants, and that energy transferring to this grasshopper, from grasshopper to the frog, from frog to the snake, snake to the hawk. For better understanding, I can give this leveling. This, that means green plant at the first tropic level. In a brief, we can write TL1. So this is at TL2, this is at TL3, TL4 and TL5. There is a one concept in energy flow, and this concept is called 10% law. 10% law. 10%. This 10% law explains that from a one trophic level to the next trophic level, only the 10% of the total energy consumed by the previous trophic level is transferred to the next trophic level. This 10% law was proposed by Lindemann in 1942. He was a pioneer scientist in this field. He explains the energy flow in an ecosystem, and according to him the flow of energy is unidirectional. Now I am going to explain this 10% law. According to him, or it's a very usual process, whatsoever the energy falling to the green plants only 1% of the total solar radiation or the total solar energy is being used by these green plants. It's very interesting and very vital fact. Only 1% of the total solar energy. It can be be explained with the help of one example. Suppose that I can say here, suppose 1000 joule of energy or solar radiation is reaching to this green plant. But how much the green plants will utilize? This solar radiation is, solar energy is only 1000 joule. So only the 1% of this will be utilized by these green plants for making their food. You can easily calculate it. What will be the 1% of 1000 joule? What will be? 1% only. Of course, that will be only 10 joule. This 10 joule is being utilized by this green plants for making their own food. Very small amount. And thereby onwards the flow of energy will start. But from here onwards the scenario will get changed. The percentage of energy is going to be reduced at each and every successive coming trophic levels. Okay, 10% joule is being utilized, but from this 10%, from this 10 joule, only the 10% of the 10 joule is going to be transferred from this trophic level 1 to the trophic level 2. So the 10% of this 10 joule will be, of course, you can easily calculate, it will be 1 joule. Now you can easily see how the energy is going to be reduced. Of course, the thing might be coming in your mind, what would happen of the rest 90% of the energy? That means rest 90% of the energy which is being utilized by these green plants, they are being absorbed by the as a ground heat and for the metabolic reactions for several purposes, but only the 10% transferred to the next. And again from here, from trophic level 2 to trophic level 3, again the 10% of this 1 joule, it will be 0.1 joule. From this trophic level 3 to trophic level 4, again the 10% of the 0.1 joule, and it will be 0.01 joule. And at the trophic level 5, 10% of this 0.01 joule, it will be very meager amount, very small, 0.01 joule. So students, my dear student, what you are observing, what the conclusion you are making from this energy flow? That means the trophic level which are nearer to the producer gets more amount of energy, and the trophic level which are far from this producer will get very least amount of energy, and those consumers which will be at the last will be always get small amount of energy. And this concept was given by this great person Lindemann, and this is called 10% law. You must practice some these sums like that in your examination. It's quite often comes that energy would be given at this trophic level 4, at this trophic level 3, and the question will demand you that what the energy is available at this trophic level 1, trophic level 2, trophic level 5, trophic level 4. So you must practice in your home the sums related like this. So this is the concept of this 10% law. And one thing also, conclusion, that if this food chain will be longer, it is not having much longer, it is not possible. If it would be longer, then the amount of energy is so less, it will not able to afford, and it would be not sufficient for the survival of the coming trophic levels. That's why the food chain is always most of the ecosystem is very short. This is also the significance, and this also explains the transfer of energy from one trophic level to the next trophic level. So student, this is the complete assessment, the complete impact, the complete discussion of the energy flow. Might you have benefited and you have taken the advantage, and definitely it would be very much fruitful for your board examination. So definitely like this video, subscribe my channel and share to others. Thank you.